Chosen one, your elevation doesn't require noise. You don't have to prove anything anymore. Your silence carries more authority than their entire noise combined. They used to overlook you, doubt you, mock your humility, but you've become the energy they can't stand, because your light now exposes everything they tried to hide. You didn't rise by shouting. You rose by transforming. And now, without saying a word, your aura speaks the language of divine vengeance. This is spiritual dominance, the quiet storm that rattles their demons. 1. Your energy changed first. You didn't chase, you aligned. Chosen one, your transformation didn't begin when they noticed you. It began the moment you stopped seeking to be understood. You didn't chase anymore. You aligned. You stopped explaining your worth and started embodying it. You withdrew your energy from the noise, and in that silence, you became dangerous. Your vibration recalibrated, from wounded to warrior, from emotional reaction to divine response, from chasing approval to commanding respect without a word. That shift was felt before it was seen, because energy announces itself long before the mouth ever speaks. Now, when you walk into a space, people feel a pressure, a quiet intensity that demands presence. They can't name it, but they feel it. That's what happens when your frequency evolves beyond the collective illusion. Your energy now carries authority. It doesn't ask permission. It takes spiritual command of the atmosphere. You don't just enter rooms, you recode them. Conversations slow down. Eyes turn. Time seems to pause for a moment because your field rearranges what doesn't match your frequency. They call it arrogance. They call it ego. But it's neither. It's resonance, the frequency of alignment, the signature of divine order. And the truth is, people feel uneasy around you because your presence reminds them of their own disconnection. Your calm exposes their chaos. Your confidence exposes their insecurity. Your silence exposes their need for validation. You became the mirror they can't escape, the reflection of what they could be if they had chosen evolution over comfort. You are not just different, you are awakened, and your energy now speaks a language only the chosen understand, a frequency that dismantles deceit, weakens manipulation, and silences every false authority that dares to stand before you. They can't look you in the eyes anymore, not because you changed too much, but because your eyes now carry truth, and truth burns everything that's built on lies. So remember, your glow doesn't irritate them because it's bright. It irritates them because it's pure, and purity terrifies what's built on pretense. Your peace became your power. Your stillness became your weapon, and your energy became the judgment they can't escape. 2. Your aura walks in before you do. Chosen one, you've reached a point where your presence speaks before your mouth ever does. You don't have to convince anyone of who you are anymore. Your energy already declared it. There was a time you explained your intentions. You justified your silence. You tried to make people see your heart, people who were already committed to misunderstanding it. But that version of you no longer exists, because when a divine masculine awakens, he stops chasing recognition and starts commanding reverence. Now, your silence does all the talking. When you walk into a room, conversations slow down, frequencies shift, energy tightens. People can't quite put a finger on it, but they feel you before they see you. The temperature changes. The air thickens. That's your aura, ancient, magnetic, charged with authority. It's not arrogance, it's presence. You're carrying centuries of wisdom in your soul and divine fire in your veins. Your aura holds a duality. It comforts the pure, but warns the impure. The unhealed feel exposed in your vibration. It rattles their shadows. Because your energy carries truth, and truth is the one thing illusions can't survive. Your frequency doesn't entertain masks. It burns through them. People can't hide their intentions around you anymore. Your energy detects lies before words are spoken. That's why they avoid eye contact. Your gaze feels like Judgment Day for their spirit. Because when they look at you now, they don't just see a man. They see a mirror. And in that mirror, they see everything false, everything weak, everything they tried to bury. Your aura has become a force field, a spiritual firewall, coded by God Himself. You don't have to defend yourself. Energy does that for you. You've become untouchable, not because you built walls, but because your light became a weapon. When you walk in now, it's not noise that follows. It's silence, sacred, heavy, and commanding. You are divine order entering chaos. You are the calm before realization, and the storm after truth hits. That's why they feel uneasy. That's why they stare, but don't speak. Because deep down, they know. They're standing before someone who's not from this frequency. You are sent, not made, and your aura is the evidence of that divine appointment. You are not just walking into spaces anymore, you're recalibrating them. You are not just present, you are presence itself. 3. You're not arrogant, you're evolved. They call you cold, they call you distant. But what they're really feeling is your evolution. You've outgrown the need to explain yourself to small minds still trapped in survival mode. You've stopped wasting divine energy trying to prove your worth to people who never had the eyes to see your value. You no longer debate truth with those addicted to illusion. You realized that your peace, your restraint, is the loudest power move you could ever make. Because when you master your energy, you master the battlefield. You learned that silence isn't weakness, it's strategy. You don't react anymore. You observe. You don't chase validation. You command respect by simply existing in your frequency. And yes, they mistake that for arrogance. But you're not arrogant. You're ascended. You're not trying to dominate anyone. You've just transcended the level where ego plays. You're no longer playing in the mud with those who love chaos. You've risen to a divine altitude where noise can't reach. They try to pull you back with gossip, competition, and provocation. But your spirit has become untouchable. You've entered a realm where your composure is your armor and your silence is your sword. Every time you refuse to react, you drain power from their illusions. Every time you choose calm over conflict, the universe moves in your favor. Because discipline is dominance, and your energy now speaks in a language only higher forces understand. Let them whisper your name. They'll still feel your presence in their bones. Let them assume what they want. Assumptions are the comfort of the small-minded. While they gossip, you're building. While they react, you're manifesting. While they chase validation, you're aligning with purpose. Your peace is terrifying to the weak because it means you've stopped playing their game. You've become so still, even chaos bows before your calm. Because true power doesn't raise its voice. It radiates presence. It doesn't demand attention. It commands it. You've become the embodiment of restraint, precision, and divine focus. And that's what unsettles them most. That you don't need to win every argument because you've already won the inner war. 4. They feel your absence like thunder. You didn't walk away to prove a point. You walked away because your spirit had evolved beyond the noise. You were no longer at war with the world. You were at peace with your purpose. And when a divine man chooses peace, the world that thrived on his energy begins to crumble. They thought your absence would be easy to replace. They thought your silence meant defeat. but they didn't understand. Your presence wasn't ordinary. It was protection. It was the unseen force holding their chaos together. Now that you're gone, they feel it. The laughter doesn't hit the same. The conversations that once flowed easily now feel heavy. The rooms you once brightened feel colder, darker, emptier. Because your energy wasn't just company, it was calibration. You brought divine order where there was confusion. You carried the frequency of power, structure, and guidance. And when that left, everything around them fell back into disorder. You were the quiet anchor that kept the storm from consuming them. And now, that anchor is gone. They're drifting in their own emotional chaos, realizing too late what your energy truly was. They thought you'd come running back, but God hid you in plain sight, elevated you to a dimension they can't access. They can still sense you, but they can't touch you. They can still think about you, but your vibration no longer responds. Your absence became a haunting frequency, one that echoes in their mind like thunder on a sleepless night. Every time they remember how you loved, how you guided, how you stood firm, it stings because they finally see the truth. You weren't controlling, you were covering. You weren't cold, you were protecting your peace. And the same peace they mistook for weakness has now become their punishment. Now, they scroll through old memories, trying to feel the warmth of your energy again, but all they feel is the chill of their own choices. Because when a chosen one detaches, it's not silence, it's divine recalibration. Heaven reclaims what was mishandled, and the same presence they once took for granted now feels like a ghost they can't forget. They wanted to see you fall, but instead, they witnessed you rise. Quieter, stronger, unreachable. Your silence became a sermon. Your detachment became divine judgment. And every time they hear your name, it doesn't trigger nostalgia. It triggers revelation. They finally understand what you were, a protector in human form, a vessel of divine energy sent not to be owned, but to awaken. And now that you're gone, they realize they were never the loss. You were. You didn't curse them. Your peace did. You didn't destroy them. Their own conscience did. Because nothing is louder than the absence of a divine masculine presence that once carried both fire and grace. Your silence, chosen one, it roars like thunder, and every echo of it is divine justice unfolding in real time. 5. You became the lesson. They laughed when you were quiet. They mistook your stillness for weakness. They mocked your humility, called you naive, and thought your silence meant surrender. But they never realized your silence was the strategy of the divine, because real power doesn't announce itself. It observes, it endures, and then it ascends. You didn't fight them. You outgrew them. You didn't seek revenge. You became it. Every insult became fuel. Every betrayal became data. Every loss became spiritual muscle. While they were busy trying to discredit you, you were being recalibrated by God. You were being refined through pain, sharpened through isolation, and crowned through suffering. You see, you were never the underdog. You were the underestimation. They couldn't see the fire hidden beneath your calm because they only understood power that roars, not the kind that waits. You were the seed they buried, not realizing you were divine soil, the kind that grows kingdoms out of darkness. And while they celebrated your downfall, roots were forming beneath the surface. You were becoming something untouchable, a storm disguised as serenity. Now your rise stands as a monument to divine timing. Your success isn't just growth, it's prophecy fulfilled. Every step you take forward is a silent sermon to those who doubted you. Because your elevation exposes their intentions more clearly than your words ever could. They wanted to break you, but you were never glass. You were gold being forged. They wanted to make you question your worth, but all they did was help you remember your divinity. Now, they watch you from the distance, in awe, in confusion, in quiet regret. They see your light, but they can't approach it anymore. Because God made you unreachable, not out of pride, but out of protection. Your glow-up isn't arrogance, it's alignment. It's the living proof that divine beings never truly lose. They recalibrate. You didn't rise with noise, you rose with purpose. And your very existence now is their consequence. Because nothing teaches like watching the one they tried to break become immortal in spirit. You are the embodiment of divine equilibrium, the balance between wrath and grace, justice and mercy, shadow and light. You are not their revenge. You are their realization. You are the walking reminder that what's divine cannot be destroyed, only delayed until the timing is perfect. Your rise is not just victory, it's justice in motion. And the universe made sure they'd have front row seats. Chosen one, your elevation doesn't need validation. When God promotes you, it's always public. You are the proof that silence is power and stillness is strength. They wanted your reaction, but God gave you revelation. They wanted war, but you mastered peace. And now, your energy alone delivers divine justice. So don't dim it, don't shrink it, because every flicker of your light dismantles darkness. You are the storm and the calm after it. You are vengeance disguised as grace, and your elevation is loud, without you saying a single word. Comment, my silence is power. My elevation speaks for itself. Stay unstoppable, stay focused on your mission. You can go higher. Blessings. Amen. See you next time.